position in American sports feels the pressure or the weight on their shoulders like a quarterback. Hopes and dreams of an entire fan base of teams ride on whether their signal caller can lead them to glory. And boy, what a matchup of two elite dudes we have in this one. Welcome to Memorial Stadium, Lincoln, Nebraska, and home of the Cornhuskers. As we'll see the number 20 team in the country, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, taking on the runner-up from last year's national championship, the Nebraska Cornhuskers. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, Jesse Palmer alongside. Guys, we can't wait to see this game. Been looking forward to it all week. And the Huskers will kick it off to get us underway. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. This place is roaring, and it's going to be so hard to operate under these conditions. The give to the running back from the shotgun. Turning it on. Gets it past the marker. Across the 50-yard line on the huge pickup, and he's out of bounds at the 45.
What a run, man. I tell you what, it's hard to pop runs. It's hard to get 3, 4, 5, 6 yards a lot of times. But when you got backs like this who can make huge plays with the speed, getting out in the open field, can take it the distance on every play, defenses are scared out of their mind.
Back to pass, it's Hull. Flushed out of the pocket. Through his hands and incomplete. He normally makes that catch every time. It's second down. The emotions and energy figure to be high all day, guys, because of what's at stake this late in the season. Really a must-win for both teams.
These are the ones that get your blood moving, Reese. You get jacked up, man. We don't have to say anything in the locker room, give these big speeches. You know what's at stake, Jesse. You're ready to rock and roll. This is when you prove you're the big dog.
Which is pretty cool, too, because it's been a long season. And these teams obviously are both physically and mentally tired. But you're right. For this kind of game, this is the one you circled at the start of the year. You knew that this was going to matter. There was going to be a lot on the line. Now it's time to go out and prove you're the better team.
Jukes his way for more. He's loose. Just keeps moving. Gets it inside the 5, down to the 4, and it'll be first and goal.
It's so hard for a defense to have to stop plays like that because it really forces you to play with great eye discipline. You see the pre-snap motion. Defense doesn't know if he's just running across the field and he's going to run a route, if he's going to block, or if he has the football. That time, he was able to outflank the defense and hurt them to get that first down.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go.
Next, going for the goal line. Going right back to the well, and this time he finds water. Gets it into the end zone for the touchdown.
And they talked about it this week with us. They talked about wanting to start this football game fast. Nothing like taking the opening possession, using your script to your advantage, and then getting closer and exerting your physicality, running the football in, off to a hot start for this offense.
The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. And as the ball makes its way into the end zone, it'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. RPO and throw it right. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few. You know what I really like about games like this at this point in the season? You find out who you are. You find out whether you're going to stay in the race.
And who can step up and handle the challenge, right? This is easily one of the toughest games to date for both of these programs coming into this one. So there's a lot of eyeballs, David, on this game to find out who's mentally and emotionally the toughest.
Yeah, and we're going to point to this game as we get later in the year and big decisions are made. You've got a top 25 win. You beat them in the middle of the season, X, Y, and Z, so these are big for the resume.
And I love the awareness by the wide receiver on that play because I'm not sure that route was supposed to be that deep. You got to wonder if the receiver decided maybe to adjust the route a little bit to make sure that he got the first down.
Wants to throw on first down. Here comes the heat. He's got it inside the 30. They'll ride him out of bounds after the good pickup spotted at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, and the quarterback knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football, had time, spins the ball deep. Nice job by this offense, understanding what the defense is giving them and creating an explosive play.
From the shotgun, the handoff to the back.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
Second down, they'll go to the air. The throw to the outside is complete. They'll finally put the brakes on him at the 3. A big throw, catch and run on that one. That's now 200 catches in his career.
It's so impressive because of his dependability. This guy has been consistent, David, week in, week out. He shows up, and he makes plays.
And it's easy to coach a guy like that. Consistent, does the work, catches the football, you know where he's going to be. That's why he's got 200 catches.
And he'll step into the end zone. Touchdown, Husker! That's the kind of skill that makes guys stars. The improvisational skills, the blinding speed, the ability to make the big play and make defenses look silly.
Just straight silly. I mean, what do you want me to do? You put a guy that's that athletic, that fast, at the quarterback spot. Now, you're telling me to defend the run, defend the pass, defend the scrambles. I mean, goodness gracious. I don't know what you want a defense to do. There's no stopping that guy.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. These two teams swapping early scores, and they'll try to move back on top, starting the drive down 7-6. Runs through a tackle. And it looks as if he'll pick up maybe a couple.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20-yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
And he just flat dropped it. I think he wanted to run before he secured it.
And that's one the offense just needs to be able to hit, right? That's a completion they should be able to hit in their sleep. Receivers got to do a better job.
Third down, and the Husker faithful getting loud, trying to make moving the chains impossible. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
Well, after giving up that touchdown on the opening drive, they had a little bit of a come to Jesus with their defensive coordinator on the sideline. I don't know what he said, but he, I think, just invoke the fear of God into this defense because this 3 and out has been sensational, dominant. This is the way they've got to play moving forward.
He gets it up to the 34-yard line before he stopped, and that's where the offense will set up shop. He wants to change this route. Some early movement along the offensive line, and they'll walk it back. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. On the set. from the gun, the ground game. Breaks into the open. Pulled down for the tackle. The Huskers in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Wide receiver comes in motion. Trying play action. Pocket breaking down. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down.
Well, this defense knew they had a tall task playing against this Heisman caliber quarterback, and the best way to affect him is with pressure. They were able to hit him on that play, and that forced the incompletion.
The Cornhuskers come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to convert here. They'll throw on 3rd and short. Plucks it out of the air. Across the 50 and down and out of bounds at the 44. A good pickup on that one. 3rd down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who do you trust the most?
No, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I get you matched up out wide and I know I trust you, I'm finding you.
And he is just engulfed at the line by this giant defensive tackle.
And that's why he is an All-American caliber player. He is just so physical and dominant against the run. He's able to shed blockers, use his athleticism, use his speed, get to the ball carrier and bring him down. Simply one of the best box defenders you're going to find in the entire country.
And he's able to find a little bit of running room before they get him down.
Love the push by the offensive line on that RPO play. Look how they just work the single teams and the double teams. You see linemen chipping off of their guys and climbing into the 2nd level and getting a hat on the linebacker. That's why those types of plays are successful.
On 3rd and short, just trying to get enough for the 1st down. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
Well, this offense is sending a little bit of a message here. Of course, we know how much they've struggled on 3rd down all season long. They're just never able to seem to get into a rhythm. But after that last running play, moving the sticks, you just wonder what that does for their confidence.
Off the play fake on 1st down, wants to throw. He'll pull it down. At the 20, he's got space. He rumbles all the way down to the 2-yard line. He gave a little bit of everything on that one.
He can throw it. He can buy time. He can run it. What can't he do? This guy's so talented. When he does stuff like this, there's no way to stop it. There's no way to coach a defense up against this. He's just really fast, and I can't catch him.
And he takes it in for a score. Touchdown, Nebraska. Follow the blocker. The offensive line will take you to the hallelujah land.
And I tell you what, most of the time, Reese, it requires a little bit of skill to find that hole and slither through a little crack. That was not a crack. That was wide open. Didn't take a lot of vision because the blocking was outstanding.
And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Play of the quarter coming. Wants to throw. It's Hall. It's picked off. That's number 10. Going the other way, and he's got room. And he's going to score on the interception. Touchdown, Cornhuskers. The mantra is always finish, and they're trying to do that here in the regular season with this Week 12 performance.
And they come up with a huge pick 6, and that is one of the reasons this defense has been so dominant all season long. They don't give up big plays, but they take the football away. And once they do, they've got better athletes than you do. They're hard to bring down. They can flip the game on a dime.
Going to need to step up to make sure this one doesn't get out of hand as the 2nd quarter is about to get underway. And And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. He'll go back to work. Looking to throw on first down. Fires to the big fella. And they picked up 9 on first down. It'll bring up second and short. Really good concept there to get things going and use the tight end early.
Yeah, I mean, just such a great job on first down, setting up an easier second down. Understanding I don't always have to push the ball down the field, but see the tight end, make the throw. No, it's not a big gain, but makes life really easy on me on second down.
And they wrap him up, but not before he's got enough for the first down. Notre Dame lines up quickly.
I just love quarterbacks that aren't greedy and that aren't always trying to throw.
Under pressure, and down he goes at the 33.
When you talk about outstanding pass rushers, you're always talking about dynamic guys, and he's been that each and every week for this defense. Speed, he's got power. You just simply can't block him, and that last play is his 10th sack of the season.
Scanning the field, it's Hall. Makes the catch. He almost picked up the first down on that one, but he'll be just a little bit short. The black shirts looking to this crowd, and they are delivering energy on this big third down. They'll stick to the ground looking for the marker. He's got enough to move the chains, and they'll spot it at the 47.
You got to have short area quickness. That running back there doing what it takes to make sure he got that first down.
Notre Dame ready to go back to work with another first down. The give to the tailback. Still running at the 35. There he goes. Touchdown, Fighting Irish. He got a step and just dusted the field.
I love the execution on that play. Great blocking up front just to get the ball carrier an opportunity in the second level of the defense. And then at that point, it was make a guy miss and use the speed. That was a perfectly executed play.
Two-point conversion attempt is on the way. From the gun, looking for a man. Makes the grab for the two-point conversion as they cut further into that lead.
I like it. Nice execution. Catch the football. Get it out of your hand. Nice rhythm, nice timing for that two-point conversion.
They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. The way this game started, you feel as if you have to score a touchdown every time you have it, and now we'll see if they can respond.
Yeah, and I wonder how much pressure that puts on the offense. Jesse, like, you know this is back and forth, and I got to score, and every possession matters so much. What does that do to you as a quarterback?
Well, it puts a lot more pressure on you for sure to feel like I got to make every third down throw. If guys are open vertically down the field, I got to hit them too. We can't let our serve get broken.
Second down, they'll go to the air. And the pass is incomplete, jarred loose by the hit.
That's what I'm talking about. That is how you close. And when a guy's going to make a catch, you make sure he doesn't make it. Physicality, using your pads, running through them. And guess what? Not only this play does he feel it, next time he tries to go over the middle or feels footsteps, this will pay dividends.
On third and long, he has to throw for it. It's complete, and he'll get it up to the 38. It'll be a first down. And the Huskers come to the line with a new set of downs. These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and thousands of balls where you know exactly when that guy's going to break. You know he's a stud. You're going to feed him, especially on these third down situations.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Making side adjustments here. They'll go to work in the air on second down. And the pass is incomplete thanks to a big hit.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You can tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. Finds his tight end. And an absolutely fearless tackle, giving up size, still got him on the turf.
Great job by the defense. A big key coming into this one was 3rd down defense. They're going up against one of the 25 best in the country in that time, making a nice tackle before the sticks to set up 4th.
Punt is in the air. Punt will bounce out of bounds, and they're going to spot it at the 25. Here come the Irish back on offense. That running game was impressive, taking them right down for a touchdown last time, David.
Yeah, just mauling. No secret play calls, just simply we are more physical than you, and we're pounding the football right at you.
So if you're on offense this next drive, take a look at their safeties and see if they're creeping up into the box. Because of your success running the football, this might be time to take a shot down the field and play action.
They finally get a hold of him, knocking him down behind the line of scrimmage. He had been running wild.
The defense is able to finally stop this guy, but he has been on fire. We're only in the 2nd quarter, and he has been absolutely lighting it up in this one. Nice job that time, defense, but you know this guy's going to get a lot more carries.
On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. And the heat gets there, and they get him down at the 14-yard line.
In these situations, 3rd and eternity, I know exactly what to do. I'm putting more DBs on the field. I know it's a pass, my best pass defenses, and then I turn my pass rushes loose. Go get that QB.
Corrals it at the 45. Returns like that are why you don't settle for the fair catch if you don't have to. Picks up just a little bit of yards to help out the Oak. Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. They'll come out on this drive and let it rip. The screen, and watch out. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag on the field. A very productive play until it was wiped out by that penalty, and they'll go back to work. Looking to throw. Trying to set up the screen. They make the stop, but a good pickup there on 1st down.
And he didn't get a big gain. You want to call that play and probably want to get more yards, but you could tell that was super close from seriously busting loose. Nice job running the screen, getting the ball to your playmaker. If he could just make one more guy miss, that might have been huge.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. The run from the shotgun. And how about that play by that giant, that mountain of a man on the defensive front?
Love the job by the defense here with their eye discipline. That's an RPO. It can be tricky to locate the football, but they found the running back quickly. Those linebackers and DBs really came screaming down to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down through the air. Has to let this one go off his back foot. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in. The Huskers will bring the punt team onto the field. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. And they'll just down it right there.
And it's a great punt. Obviously, he gives himself time to let his guys get down the field, get in position. Remember, don't let that thing cross the goal line. Try to keep it inside the 10. Nice job down in the football, setting your defense up for great field position.
The goalpost breathing down their neck as they're backed up in their own end, starting to drive from their own one. From his end zone, looking to throw, got to take care of the ball. Oh, gives him the tough stiff arm. Out of the shadow of his own goalpost there. Pickup of 10 gets it out to the 11.
Well, for this defense now, being good against the pass is not just going to be in the back end covering people. It's going to be trying to contain this guy at the quarterback position. He is lethal, especially when things go off script. And you saw it on that one. First down, they dial up the pass play. You're not able to get him on the ground. And now they've got...
Oh, there's an alley on the left. And what a huge chunk play for this offense. Just exactly what you need to move the ball down the field. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. Now a first down from the 45-yard line. Back to throw, it's Hall. He's going to take off. Got a first down. He turns this into a nice gain and gets down to avoid the hit.
And he's just proving it time and time again, man. He has that feel. He obviously has the ability to pick up and put him down and go get first downs. But I think the timing of when to scramble and when not to scramble, he's really got that figured out. And you can tell it's going to be a big part of the game plan.
After the setback, the offense gets set for a 1st and 15. Handoff from the gun. Good, solid tackle. Quick tempo, no huddle offense. Second down, clock's running. Wants to go up top. Makes the grab. That completion gets them inside the 10, and the defense is running out of room to defend. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. And this offense will have to feel pretty good about itself if it can tie the game before halftime. 1st and goal. Looking to scramble. Gets rid of it. Trying to bowl his way in. Touchdown, Irish! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
That is exactly how you want to end halves. Put a drive together, score the touchdown, a chance to tie this up and take all the momentum into halftime.
The extra point here would tie the game. And he knocked that one right down the middle. And after the extra point was good, it's even Steven here in the second quarter. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. No reason to risk trying to field that one as it skips through the end zone. It'll be a touchback. So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the first half. Motion from the wide receiver. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Quarterback just flat missed him. Incomplete.
Yeah, I don't know if the quarterback got confused on first down. He might have thought the defense was going to be in man coverage that time, but they were in zone. They fooled him and just didn't seem like he had his eyes in the right place, was forcing that ball to his intended target. The window way too small. The guy was not open, so that didn't have that chance to be complete.
Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. Grabbed behind the line, it's Frazier. And just a short, safe pass play, they pick up a few. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Just enough time for one final play in this half. Quarterback making checks. On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Makes the grab. It's Algier. Ridden out of bounds at the 45. A big play for this offense.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on third down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is, and you saw it right there on that play.
To the air on first down. Quarterback on the move, still looking. He'll be brought down, and that's the final play of the half. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. We're all locked up here in the third quarter as he's set to kick it away. That ball scoots through the back of the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. First drive of the second half, always fun to watch. You see what type of tweaks were made at the half, especially when you're locked up in a ball game like this one. Oh, he's got some space. And he gets it to the 45-yard line, and that'll be a first down.
When you talk about creating big plays in the running game like this, this makes the game really easy. Actually, when you've got a guy like this that you can hand it to with this much speed and elusiveness, just hard to bring down in the open field. What a big gain for the offense.
Looking downfield on first down. Caught over the middle. It's Algier. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. And now on second down for this offense. Quarterback making adjustments. Wide receiver going in motion. To the air on second down. Pressure coming. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They had been trying all game long different ways to affect him. Weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy. That's why the ball falls incomplete.
Shotgun snap. Wants to throw it on third. A strike downfield. Touchdown, Husker! An epic comeback. They'll talk about this one forever if they can hold on, but they're on top right now.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times, touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
That ball skips through the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 25-yard line. Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. They're down by a touchdown, but hoping to dial up some plays and pull even in what's turning out to be a really good football game. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Turning it on! And they'll spot it at the 38, and that'll be plenty for the first down.
You know, as a defense, you can have the right call and the right guy in the right spot, but that guy's just too good. And how about the running back on that play? Just making it happen, breaking off the huge gain. It's tough to get these guys on the ground.
They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensive.
Just too much heat that time, and they knock him down at the 30 line. They'll tell you that somebody's always going to pop open, but it didn't happen in time before they got the sack.
No, it did not. And you know what? I'm going to remember this. I'm going to remember zone defense. They didn't really have an answer. They weren't ready to get rid of the football. Quarterback hesitated. I got to him and got him on the ground. Might be a good call later on in the game.
On 3rd and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete and 4th down's cut.
Well, you can see the frustration on this guy's face. He's one of the best receivers in college football, and they knew coming into this game that he had to get touches, but you can't say enough about how good this defense has been defending him. They've always had an answer, whether it's single coverage, double coverage, man or zone. They have not let him go off, and that's a big reason why they're winning this game.
The Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. They stuck the last drive in the end zone. They'll try to follow suit here. From the gun, leaves it on the inside with the back. Defense fills those gaps. He's got 1 to the 28.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough. But how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
The give to the single back. He's got a yard out to the 30-yard line.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
On 3rd down, he drops the throw. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down. The Cornhuskers send out the punt unit. Makes the catch. Wants to make a move upfield. This guy is a daring punt return man. He's not going to settle for the fair catch. A solid return. Gets a little bit of ground for the offense. Here come the Irish. Back on offense. Another opportunity here. They had to punt it on their last possession, but this time tight game, hoping to get something on the board. Under pressure, and down he goes at the 33.
The trend continues for this offensive line from last week. They gave up 5 sacks last week. They've given up 4 today. The most important part of your offense is protecting that quarterback. They've got to do a better job.
Dropping back, it's Hall. Bringing the heat. He's brought down, but not before he turned that into a positive play and picked up a few on the run.
It's just so nice to have a QB under center. Nowadays in football, you can trust these guys. You put so much on their plate, and you tell them, go get positive yards when it's there. And a lot of these guys are such great athletes, they do it with ease.
Third and long, and he'll try to throw for it. He'll try to do it himself. He's going to be a little bit short of that 1st down marker, and this defense did a tremendous job not to lose contain on the scramble. Not much to gain on a punt, so here they come on 4th and short from the 50. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. And he's sacked. A big play on 4th down to stop this drive.
Well, I love the play call by the defense there on 4th down. They were expecting pass. They didn't decide to just lay back and play zone coverage. They were going to dial up the pressure. They bring the blitz, and they just overwhelmed the offensive line and anyone else trying to protect that quarterback. He had no shot.
Good pickup on that play. It'll bring up 2nd and 4.
great offenses always stay ahead of the chains. That run right there, now you're in a good position. It's not second and long. It's not third and long. Now as the whole playbook's open, the defense really has to honor run and pass on the next snap.
Running to the left. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. And the Huskers line up, trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. And there were some collisions in there, and the D finally stops him short of the marker.
Now, 4th down.
It's 4th down, and they can make the field goal from here, but it looks as if they're going to leave the offense out there. Quarterback may change this route. On 4th down, looking for the completion. Finds the tight end. And they reacted well to the completion, but it was too late to keep them from getting the 1st down. As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. Give to the back. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
Bring it up. 2nd down.
We reach the break. It's Nebraska holding the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. One more period to go to see who can make the winning plays and come home with the victory. So the final period starts with a 2nd down play. Motion from the wideout. Going to sling it on 2nd down. Get it out to the supersonic guy. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that 1st down marker. 3rd and long coming from the 27-yard line. You can make a field goal from here. Just don't take a negative play.
This offense is not letting up, guys. They've got a lead here late, and they are still taking shots. They're still looking for explosive plays. This defense just has not had...
Touchdown, Nebraska! All that baby in and then stroll into the end zone for the score. That ought to be enough to make this lead insurmountable, and with it, they'll be a perfect 10-0.
And that is a drive and a score they absolutely had to have. Now making it a 2-possession game late in this one. It wasn't going to be enough to just play it safe, play it conservative, punt the ball away, and count on your defense. They were aggressive. They mixed it up, but getting that score, that is huge for their win probability now.
Bounces through the end zone. It's a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. Not the day they had hoped to have, but when you are a ranked team, you are going to get everyone's best shot, and now let's see if they can pull this one out. That's reeled in. It's Harper. And the defense wrestles him to the ground. The Irish come to the line facing 2nd and short.
And these are these moments, man, when you're trailing by a couple possessions, you've got to put it together. Your quarterback has to come through. I mean, it's not a surprise. It's going to be passes. He's got to be smart. He's got to be quick with his decision-making, and they kind of got to be up near the line of scrimmage and be in a little bit of a hurry.
Someone moved a little early, and the offense will go backward. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Quarterback by himself in the backfield. Looking downfield, it's Hall. Moving away from pressure. Trying to escape and get it himself. He was able to reach into his bag of tricks and use it to pick up a few extra yards. Notre Dame trying to keep this drive moving on 2nd and short. Back to pass. Oh, they're after him. Make the stop at the 40, but it's a 10-yard gain and a fresh set of downs.
Well, we know the game of college football is always evolving and changing, and one of the biggest reasons why is the quarterback evolution. Dual-threat quarterbacks. You're seeing two great examples in this game so far. Both guys can hurt you throwing it. Both guys can hurt you running.
Intercepted for the 11th time. Trying to take it back. Down to the 36-yard line and some nifty moves to try to make a big play on the interception.
The number one objective for a defense is to make the offense one-dimensional. Well, when they're trailing by this much, late in the game, they're one-dimensional. They have to pass the football. We can bring more speed on the field. You see it. We know you're throwing the football. Nice break on the football. Nice interception. This one's almost over.
They'll run the toss. Breaks into the open. And he's to the 48-yard line. That'll be good enough for a first down.
Play callers love it offensively when you can run the football when the other team knows you're going to do it. That is called imposing your will. And here in the 4th quarter with the lead, very first play of the drive, you break off a nice run. He might just call the exact same play right again here.
Right back to the well. They stop him at the 42, but they get it across midfield, pick up 10 and the first down.
Fresh legs, man, and it is showing. Of course, this team had the bye last week, and you're seeing it right now late in the game. Running the football, imposing their will against the defense that looks tired. Of course, they had to play last week, and you're seeing that right now.
Gets him down at the 26. Big play there. Give him 15 yards on the gain, and they move the sticks. The Huskers have it with a 1st and 10. Leaves it with the running back. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. Be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. They'll go to the ground. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Great team defense on that run play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones. D linemen staying in their gaps. Linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
Here's the handoff. Picks up the first down, still moving. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
I think one of the biggest reasons why the scoreboard looks the way it does is this offense has been dominant on 3rd down. They have found a way to stay on the field. They do it again here late, running the ball on 3rd.
Red pass, it's complete. They'll get him stopped just short of the end zone, but they're in business here with a first down.
How about this offense, man? You got to love it. Late in the 4th quarter, you have the lead. They don't get conservative. Staying balanced. Run, back it up with a pass, getting the first down, a few more first downs, and you can walk out of here with a W.
From the gun, he'll try to throw. Touchdown, Cornhuskers! That's the way you finish a drive and put up points. That score pushes this out to a comfortable margin, and they are oh so close to a 10-game winning streak. Well, Lil Red's probably turning into Big Red with pride right now with this performance he's turning in.
And, man, he is in his bag. He's running it. He's throwing it. This defense is like, having it. Which way do I go? Who's got the football? He is setting this defense on fire.
On the move from inside his 5. And the coverage team able to wrestle him down. just can't mess it up at the end with the pick, Jesse.
No, you got to be able to finish drives, especially in this game. If you're going to win in David, they've got to be able to eliminate the mental mistakes.
Yeah, and I don't think you get conservative or play it safe. You can trust your guy. I think you put the ball right back in his hands and let him do his thing.
Clock stops, and we've reached the 2-minute timeout. This offense looking for anything to cut into this big lead. The Irish come to the line facing second and short. Keep it on the ground. Dragged down at the 26 after a pickup of 5.
A lot of times on second down, you're thinking pass, especially second maybe in a little bit long. Really good job by the offense, committing to the running game, getting the first down, really easy.
Can't get him to the ground. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
Well, I think the offense at this point now, they're just trying to limit the damage. They want to get out of here and move on, turn the page to the next game because things just have not been going their way, throwing or running the football.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, they're trying to run the football there, just nowhere to go. They got dominated up front at the point of attack.
They'll leave it with him. He gets those chains moving, gets it out to the 42-yard line.
Tackle is made at the 42-yard line.
I know both of these teams were ranked, guys, but it really seemed as if they weren't on the same level in this game.
I think that was a pretty good statement game for these guys. I mean, you're ranked higher, you're more talented. A lot of people point to this game, possible upset, 2 really good teams. Jesse, they made it clear. There's only one really good team. It was them. They were the favorite, and they just made a point of it.
You're right. Not all ranked teams are created equal. One of these teams is a college football playoff contender. The other